seen in the registration form that I've put in here so that we can answer these. So is computer-based OET accepted? Yes, it is. Computer-based OET, IELTS, all are accepted. Do I need to achieve all OET B grades in one sitting? Yes, you do. How long does the entire registration process take? So yeah, 8 to 10 months, plus minus 2 to 4 weeks. And the 2 to 4 weeks I've just added as a joke because this is what IMC says. If you email them asking how long is it going to take, they will say 4 to 6 weeks. That's all. But yeah, it takes longer, by the way. What happens after registration? Okay, so after registration, you can start looking for jobs. And in my experience, if you have a good CV, if you have a good portfolio, and if you are doing everything right, you're actually applying for 5 to 6 jobs per day, you can get a job in Ireland in about 4 months. Insurance needed for registration? No, you don't need any insurance. You do need it there. So once you go to Ireland, your hospital will get insurance and stuff sorted for you. Can I apply with MRCOG qualification? Yes, you can apply for all Royal College exams, but you have to do all three parts, all the parts that are there. What documents need to be sent by post? You need to send your passport copy and your IELTS results by post. So these are some of the things that I found on Reddit, if you are not aware. One was the internship question. So yes, it is important that it is in 2009. So anybody before that is not exempted. They have to give press. And then we've got this PLAB 1 can substitute for press part 1. Okay, but you will have to then do press part 2. So those asking about PLAB, please remember, if you have just done PLAB 1 and not given PLAB 2, you are exempted from press part 1, but you will have to give press part 2. Okay? I think somebody else asked me this question here as well. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. But there are no jobs available at these websites like HSC, and so how can we apply? I'll show you. I'll show you where to look for jobs.
Dr. Tajvi, can you shed a little more light on press? What is it actually?
It's the same as PLAB. It's a general registration exam. It's the same as your FCPS Part 1. So, not FCPS Part 1, sorry. It is the same as SMLA, the Saudi exam. So they have all the subjects, basic questions. They will have medicine, surgery, gynae, peds, roughly. And that's all it is. But PLAB and press have an added subject, which is known as situational judgment or ethics, basically. That is also added in it.
May I comment on this, Dr. Tajwal?
Sure. Please go ahead.
Actually, if your house job, if you're from Pakistan, job is before 2009, then you have to give press. And if you have done with PLAB, MLE, or AMC completely, then you are exempted only from press 1. There are two other parts as well. MCQs, that is a clinical knowledge, as Dr. Tajur has described the MCQs from medicine and different specialties. Then there comes press part 3, that is OSCE based, like American OSCE or PLAB part 2 OSCE. You will be tested on the basis of your communication, diagnosis, and management. So these are all three parts for all those who are not eligible or who are not.
Sorry, the project, we can't hear you. Oh, I think we lost Dr. Rajab.
I was disconnected. Have I cleared the concept of press?
Can you
No.
repeat the last part? I think we missed it.
Yeah, actually, I was saying that after PLAB, MLE, and AMC, you have exemption from press 1, but you have to take press 2 and press 3. Press 2 is based like Amalgam SPA, based on MCQs from the clinical subjects. And press 3 is like Amalgam OSCE. It is OSCE like PLAB 2 or Amalgam OSCE, based on you would be tested on the basis of your clinical knowledge as well as communication and the if you are safe doctor or not, like the pattern of OSCE. These are three parts of test. Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying that. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, so if your house job is after 2009, then you
Mm.
don't have to, then you're exempted just from press one, right?
No, all of it.
No, you're completely exempted. You are eligible for IMC.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So these are the final tips again, just to reiterate what we've done so far, and then we'll move forward. So there's nothing new here. I've just added this here for like questions and stuff. Okay, now let's come to once you get to Ireland, or why you would want to get to Ireland, I'd say. Okay, so cost of living, number one, um, is pretty much similar to the UK, I would say. The major cities, the suburbs, all of that, those areas are a bit expensive. However, the rural areas are a bit more affordable. The monthly expenses for somebody who's unmarried are going to range between 500 to 800 euros, not a lot. And if you are married with a family, it's going to depend on how much you spend, really. But it can go up to like 5,000 euros. So, but 1,500 euros to 5,000 euros is your margin bucket, but it's entirely depending upon you and how you live. Okay. The healthcare system is a two-tier system. So they do have public sector and private sector. The public sector is the health service executives. This is where you can look for government jobs, public sector jobs, and these are better paid and a lot more permanent with like better contracts and better benefits than your private sector. Okay. From where to check which allied specialty? So just go on the IMC website. You will find it there. And as a medical professional, you will likely work within the HSE system, okay? Because majority of the vacancies that you will see on the website, especially if they're hiring IMGs, are going to be under the health service executive, okay? There are private ones as well, and you can look for them. So those are a bit difficult to get as an IMG when you're not working in Ireland. Once you get to Ireland, you can always switch to the private jobs if you want. That is a lot easier than to get like your first job as in the private healthcare system. It can be a bit difficult. Okay. Now remember, when it comes to Ireland, they have a really good education system. Their training is excellent, and also if you are on the MR campus and you're waiting for OSCE and you've done your SBA and now you're like, one, I need like a certain amount of experience to be able to be eligible for OSCE. And also I want to be on the priority list because in Pakistan, you're not on the priority list and you've been waiting for a year for a seat and no, life isn't going nowhere. IMC would help. If you get a job in Ireland, you get on the priority list. And also you can actually apply for Irish training if you want. And we will cover that as well in the coming slide. So yeah, you have all of these options. So this can open new horizons for you if this is something that you are looking for. Okay, all right. Career progression. So you have senior house officers, which is where most of you will be starting. So with an experience, with some experience of like 1 to 2 years post house job is where you are starting, really. Then you've got registrars and specialty training. They are pretty similar, but the specialty training is somebody who is in training, and registrar is basically someone who has either finished their training abroad and now are starting, or somebody who never went into training in Ireland but have reached the level of registrar through experience. Okay, that also happens. And then you've got consultant, which is somebody who is on the specialty register. Okay. Maintaining your registration. So in order to maintain your registration, you will have to, you know, pay every year. Okay. And you have to have your professional competence. Now, this is a foreign concept for all of us because in Pakistan, our registration gets renewed by just paying PMDC. We don't have to show them that we had a CPD score, we had professional development, we had MSF or multi-source feedback, nothing. We don't have to show anything, and we are a medical doctor by just being a doctor. That's it. In UK, Ireland, and every other major country, you have this professional competence clause. So in GMC or in the UK, every year, GMC will this is something known as an annual appraisal. And every year, you have to give them proof that you were up to date with your medical education, your professional development, and your multi-source feedback as well. And a independent consultant or somebody other than your educational supervisor or clinical supervisor will assess you on that portfolio that you've submitted, showing proof that this year I did this. These are my hours of CPD. And there's a minimum limit of hours you have to do. The more senior you are, the more hours you have to do, by the way, the more CPD points you need. So as a junior doctor, they're very less, and as a consultant, they're very more. And on that basis, your registration is renewed. Other than that, they can actually give you a warning letter and then tell you, listen, you need to up your game. You need to start doing better if you want to be a doctor in our country. Okay. Same applies to Ireland. So you cannot just be in Ireland and do nothing, just practice every day. You will have to have proof of what you are doing. So continuing medical education, professional development, and clinical audit are necessary to maintain your license. All right. Otherwise, you kind of do get in trouble. So this is another thing. If you leave Ireland temporarily, you can maintain your registration or restore it later following the IMC restoration process. And why you do that is because with the license to practice, you pay a lot more annually. If you just have the registration, you pay a bit less. So if I'm not currently working there, what I would do is I would give up my license to practice, just keep the registration and pay half the amount. And once I want to go there, practice again, I would just renew my license and then pay the full fee. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So these are your additional bodies where you can look for jobs or further information. So this is the website, the official website where you can look for further information. This is IMC, the Medical Council IE. The Health Service Executive is their public website where you can look for jobs as well. And then there's medical professional bodies where you can look for jobs. Okay. Now, there are certain seasons when you will see jobs. Summer is when they put out those jobs, especially the government ones. So you have to be clever how you're going to look for jobs. When their training process opens, how can you go about looking for those? So you have to be a bit on board with all these important dates. Same goes for the GMC, okay? If you miss those deadlines, if you're not aware of what's going on these websites, then you'll be like, oh, there are no jobs, okay? But there are jobs. You just have to be a bit smart about how to look for jobs and where to look for jobs. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead. Setting up your Irish Medical Council account. So this is when you have everything ready and now you want to log on to the website and get started with your IMC registration. What do you need? Again, Epic verification, at least 410 euros in your account, and card active for international transaction. Okay. Then go to the website medicalcouncil.ie, click on Doctor Login, enter your details. You have to either register or log in. So it's up to you. If you haven't registered, register, enter your details, complete your personal information, select doctor in the title field because that is what you are. After completing these steps, you will receive a transaction reference ID. Record this ID as the confirmation email. May take about 1 to 2 days to arrive. So keep this safe. Okay. Now, once you've
Your
logged in, sorry, do we have a question? Okay. So once you've logged in, start your application, fill in the details. For first-time applicant, just say no to the first two questions that arise and move forward. Registration route, you have to select which registration route are you going to go on. So when you're completing your application, you will have this option, okay? Choose no for internship registration because you're applying for general registration. This is for Pakistani candidates, by the way, who are exempted from press, please, okay? So you are applying for general registration. Now, where did you graduate from? You have to write that. Then you click certificate of experience route if you're exempt from press exam, and your house job, because it meets the general criteria, this is where you will put in your house job details. And be sure to enter your EPIC ID in the blank field provided before proceeding to the next step, because that is where that ID is the cross-reference you have. When the EPIC will send the report to your Irish Council, they will match this ID. Okay, so do not make a mistake in this ID. If there is one, it will just delay your process. They will email you saying the ID is incorrect and it's just a long process. So double check that ID, please. Now, adding the qualification. So click add qualification in the next step. This will begin the process of documenting your medical education. All right, all the qualifications that you have. Some of you asked me if you want to get the EPIC verification for this. So no, you only need to verify that degree which you are using to apply for press exemption and IMC. Okay, all your other degrees you can just put in this qualification here. Okay, it's okay. Enter education details, so all your MBBS stuff, and you have to tick box for basic qualification because it is your MBBS, which is your basic qualification. Then you add the dates. Now, with the dates, please, 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 your transcript will have dates on it. Make sure that they tally. Do not make the mistake of giving the wrong dates. Again, if you do these little errors, the application process is going to be delayed because they will have to then double check again and again. And if you are the application approval officer, okay, and if you have to like get up and check every single thing, they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to have a look at this application later. Let's just get to the next application that has everything sorted, right? So they will put you on the back burner. So double check dates. Everything should be double checked. Make sure that everything aligns and you have a proof for everything so that you do not delay your process. And then just save and continue. Now, you will need to provide information about PMDC. So select yes when it asks if you're registered with your home country. You enter your medical council details, write full registration if you have full registration. And ideally for house job, you should, like if you are applying and you're saying, I have my house job certificate, that means you should have full registration, okay? And then you click next to proceed. Then you have some additional questions like fitness to practice. Select no for all options because obviously you are to practice. Please though read them carefully. Don't just say, I said no to all of those questions. They didn't apply to me. But yeah, just read them carefully. There could be an exceptional circumstances that could apply to you. But yeah, usually the answer to them is going to be no. Professional experience, you will have to add details of everything you've done after med school and start your timeline from house job. Again, be careful of the dates. You will have to provide proof at some point.
Madam,
Professional, sir?
can I ask a question?
Yep.
मैडम अगर हमारे पास ओईटी वैलिड नहीं है और हमारा वो एक्सपायर हो चुका है और उन्होंने कहा है कि हमें फर्स्ट जॉब के लिए ओईटी जो है वैलिड चाहिए, लेकिन अभी हमारा चूंकि अभी एसपी का एग्जाम है जनवरी में, तो हम कब एग्जाम दें? ये हो नहीं सकता पॉसिबल कि हम लोग पहले अपना एसबीए दे दें फिर हम ओईटी के लिए कर दें एग्जाम अपना?
You can, yeah. I mean, why is OET related to SB exam? I don't understand.
मतलब अगर हम एमआरकेएम दे रहे हैं, ठीक है, और हम
Yeah.
उस प्रोसेस में बिजी हैं, ठीक है, हमारा प्राइमरी हो चुका है बट वी आर अप्लाइंग फॉर जॉब्स इन आईएमसी, लेकिन हमारा ओईटी एक्सपायर हो चुका है, तो अभी हमें पहले ओईटी देना चाहिए फॉर जॉब, फर्स्ट जॉब, या हम थोड़ा वेट कर लें फिर दे सकते हैं? अगर फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम जनवरी में दे दें या उसके बाद दे दें?
Yeah, you can wait. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm applying now. So the thing is, after you get the job is when they ask for a valid one, isn't it?
ओके। तो अगर मतलब वैसे हम जॉब के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हैं अगर हमारा ओईटी एक्सपायर हो गया हुआ है?
Do you have IMC registration?
यस, बट माय ओईटी इज एक्सपायर्ड इन मई।
I don't think you need a valid OET for jobs.
लाइक अ वेरी फर्स्ट जॉब, एज यू सेड कि उसके लिए हमारा ओईटी चाहिए होता है।
No, you need it if you get the job.
ओके ओके, मतलब
So
उसके बाद
what?
हमें।
Yes. So once you have the job, they say, okay, we are giving you the job. You have quite a bit of time before you actually get to Ireland. All right. So you have about 2 months. And during that time, they say, can you get the visa sorted? Can you get your IELTS or OET sorted? Because we need a valid one for the first job. So all of those things, you can do them after you get the job. Don't do it before, because the thing is, you don't know when you're going to get the job. And again, if you do it prematurely and 2 years pass, you kind of waste money. So I would say get the job first. Once you have the job, because look, you had a valid IELTS or OET when you got your IMC registration, okay? And now it has expired because you weren't getting a job, right? That's your reasoning for it. That I had
हाँ
a
जी।
valid one, it had expired, so I would rather wait. Once I have the job, explain to the recruiters that, listen, um, thank you for giving me this job. I'm just going to get my IELTS sorted and I will get the document and the paperwork ready. And don't worry, before I join, I'll have all of those things.
ओके। लेकिन मैडम अब उसमें अक्सर ये भी सुना है कि अगर फॉर एग्जांपल हमारा ओईटी या डॉक्यूमेंट्स हमारे रेडी नहीं होते हैं, तो वो हमारा वेट नहीं करते हैं, वो हमें डिसमिस कर देते हैं। अगर फॉर एग्जांपल हमें जॉब मिलती है, तो अगर हम ओईटी देने के लिए बैठ जाएं, तो वो हमें डिसमिस नहीं कर देंगे कि इनके पास तो वैलिड ओईटी नहीं है, तो हम इनको किस प्रायोरिटी पे लें इनको?
No, they can't do that. So the thing is, you don't need a valid OET for job selection. You need a Ireland medical license to practice for selection. After selection, they have to send you a employment certificate, and that employment certificate takes 2 weeks. So
ओके।
you book your IELTS during that time.
जी ठीक है।
Yeah, you
थैंक यू।
don't have to waste this like. And I know, like, listen, recruiters are not there to just, give you stress and make it very difficult for you to get a job. They are recruiting you because they want doctors to come and work. And they're going to make
जी
it easy for you. They're not going to make it difficult for you. So don't have this preconceived notion that, oh no, they're going to take this job away because I don't have IELTS. Yeah, they might take it away if you fail the IELTS. Um, that would be a problem, but that is also very rare.
जी ठीक है।
Okay. Sorry, did I go through all of them? Oh, yeah. So professional experience is then next, and then you've got professional indemnity. So tick option one. All right. I know this will sound weird right now because you don't have your application process open in front of you, but if you have gone through the application or if you have it open in front of you, this will make sense. So tick option one and all boxes for declaration. Option one is appropriate for those applying to public hospitals. Okay, and you are generally applying for public hospitals, don't worry. So after all of this is done, review all your declaration, tick all the boxes, and then click next. Now, this is what it might look like. Okay, so fields, and then what are we going to say? So post held was house officer or medical officer for post house job experience. Specialty could be medical, surgery, peds, ortho, whatever. Employer name is going to be your name of the hospital and then the hospital address. Okay. You have to add each rotation individually. All right. So 3 months, all rotations should be entered individually in order, please. All right. Now let's come to the important part. How do we explain gaps? So for career breaks, write the reason in post held. Okay. Again, you have to put your career breaks in this format. All right, this one. So in your post held here, okay, you will write maternity leave, study break, whatever the reason was. You will select the appropriate dates for how long you were on that break. And then for specialty, employer name and address, you will just write not applicable or N/A in capital. Okay. And once you submit your application, everything, the IMC will contact you, by the way, during the registration process to explain these gaps, okay, if they need more confirmation. So be prepared to provide additional information. For example, if you write maternity leave, you might have to provide a proof of a birth certificate of your child during that date. If it was a study break, you will have to provide proof, like an exam letter. You gave the exam, even if you failed the exam, by the way, it's okay. Even if you fail the exam, you have to give them the failure certificate. Like, look, I attempted it, I failed it, and then look, this is when I passed it. So all of it, you should have that proof ready, okay? But you have to account for all time periods of gaps. And the gap is going to be about, I think it is longer than 6 weeks. So, or 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks is what they call a gap. Anything less is not going to be a gap, okay? You don't have to like equate like every single day. Like I ended my job at Sunday and I was at work on Monday. No, it is going to be more than 28 days roughly. So any gap that's more than 28 days, you should have proof of it and you have to mention it in your experience, okay? Do not give long gaps between employments. And if you have given, please give a valid reason for it. Okay, then comes payment and submission. So review your application, confirm declaration, process payment, and then you will receive your confirmation once you have done everything else. How about the time when you were job hunting? Yeah, that's going to be a gap. And no, that's not a justifiable gap, by the way. You should be employed for job hunting. You cannot just say, I was sitting at home looking for jobs. That's not how it works, unfortunately. Require documents for IMC. So after submitting your application, you will receive an email containing your cover letter. You have to send the following documents. So cover letter, colored photocopy of your passport, your result of IELTS, OET, whatever. So this, I know it says that the passport, this is on their website, by the way, but I have heard from people that you don't need to do that your passport is kind of notarized because Epic uses it as a valid form of your ID. So I will double check on this, but I think that for most part, for Pakistan, you can just get away with the colored photocopy of your passport. You don't need it notarized. But it has to be valid. Please remember, your passport cannot expire within 6 months. It has to be a valid passport. Okay, document submission. There is email submission. There is postal submission. Scan all your documents and send them via email. That is a good option. The postal submission is a bit shady. You can do that. It's up to you. I would suggest do email submission. And if IMC wants a postal submission, they will ask you for it. Email, good enough. Don't go into the postal submission. And this is your IMC address and phone. If you want to send the email, we've already discussed, it is on their website as well. I've given it before, the COE one. Okay. All right. These are the few questions that we had. So what if I have gaps in my employment history? What are you going to do? So you can explain gaps as study leaves, okay, maternity leave, or marriage breaks. Okay, marriage break is a valid gap. You can even mention if you've had, okay, don't just lie, but if you've had a divorce, if you had a death in the family, a child, like a blood relative, like a maternal death, and you needed some break for that, please don't have really long breaks. But yeah, you can explain these. And the IMC does understand that career paths aren't always continuous, so they do understand gaps. Okay, don't worry about that. If you took a gap because you had children, it's okay. They understand those gaps. You just have to be honest and don't just say I was sitting at home looking for jobs. Please, that is too much honesty that I don't think Irish Medical Council needs to know. So no, that's not a valid gap. Do I need to verify experience beyond my house job? Epic verification is only required for your medical degree and house job or internship experience, not for subsequent positions. So yeah, you don't need it. What if my specialty isn't listed? Then you choose the closest match. Okay. For example, select surgery if subspecialty like neurosurgery or some specific medical specialties aren't there, just select surgery. Okay. And then if they want to know more details, you can give them more details if they have an objection to it. Don't worry about it. All right. More frequent asked questions. Okay, yeah. So these are some, let's go through these. How long does the registration process take? We've already covered that. Do I need to send original documents? No, you do not. What about the certificate of good standing? So yeah, the certificate of good standing is always going to be sent original, and that is sent um basically by your council. So PMDC is going to send it. Do I need to get my documents verified by other authorities? No, you do not. English requirements, we've already covered this. Any of these two is widely accepted. Whichever one is easier for you or convenient for you, go ahead. Timeline and expectation. So yeah, this is just a rough application process thing, but this isn't really true, I would say. It takes longer now. Community, yes. So there's a website, irishuk.com. This is a very good website. If you are looking to find work in Ireland and you need some community support for IMGs, they have all the updates. Okay, so if they change any requirements, if they change any fee structure, if they add new rules, this is where you're going to find them. And it is a very updated website. So I would suggest having a look at this one. So after registration, you've got job application, visa process, and then relocation. Let's go through this. Again, the resources and the website that you want to have a look at if you need more help. All right, let's go to job market now. So there is a NCHD job cycle. Okay, this is non-consultant hospital doctor jobs. They start between January and July. Okay, now whoever was asking me about jobs and that I can't find them on the HSE website, yeah, you're not going to find them on off season. Okay, there are seasons when they market these jobs. Okay, so you have to be conscious. Now, the reason we're doing this webinar now is, and I will cover this in the end, the GP, Ireland GP training system, the application has just opened, and I will show you the details of how to apply for that. And they have these dates. And because we are IMGs, we don't know these dates. We don't know what portal to go to or what dates to look out for. But the Irish people, because they are working in the system, they know these dates. They know when the job is going to come out and they apply. And that's how they get it. So in order for you to apply for a job in any country, you have to understand the rules of the country. So in Ireland, you have these job cycles, okay? You have these non-consultant hospital doctor jobs. If any of you have been on the HSE website, you must see this NCHD job cycle. And these jobs start between January and July. Okay, so January is coming now. Be aware of this. Job offers for January induction run from September to December. Okay, so there is an induction process. So January is when your job starts. For January jobs, the induction or the interview process, the application, the registration starts from September. So this is the best time. September to December, you will see these being marketed or show up. Similarly, job offers for July induction run from April to June. Okay. Dr. Zishan, can you please not try and write on the screen? Thank you, because I don't know how to raise this. Okay, so these are your job cycles. Then you've got position types. So these NCHD job cycles include two levels. You've got SHO, which is a senior house officer job, which is what I would encourage you to apply for, and a registrar job. A registrar job requires about 4 to 5 years of experience. So be careful, okay, when you're applying for these jobs. If you have that experience, apply for both. Don't just be like, oh, I've got 4 years experience. I'm not going to apply for senior house officer. No, you have a better chance of getting jobs. So apply for both SHO and registrar. Okay. And you can apply for these jobs as soon as you get your IMC. So you don't have to worry. Now, you can go to the HSC website to look for jobs. This is where maximum jobs are advertised from time to time. My suggestion would be check the website twice daily. Okay, check it in the morning when you wake up and check it before bed. Easier. Then you've got hospital websites. You can apply directly to the hospital as well. Many hospitals are advertised mainly on the official website, but there are some hospitals who do mention on their own website. So you can do that as well. Then you've got some recruitment agencies. I wouldn't recommend recruitment agencies, by the way. They can charge you money sometimes. They don't get you good packages. They can be a bit shady. So, yeah, avoid this. But if you are sure, if you know it's a trusted person or trusted agency and your friend got through it and you trust those people completely, go ahead. But otherwise, please be careful of recruitment agencies. They can actually scam you. Right. Okay, so these are the recommended ones. So these are some of the agencies that my friends have used, and they have been good. So if you are looking for a job, if you haven't been shortlisted so far, maybe try one of these. Okay, there's Glassdoor.ie. They have some listings and they have reviews as well. You've got Recruiter.ie for a specialized recruiter platform. Then you've got healthcare jobs. This one I liked, and then Irish jobs as well. Okay, so general job portal. But please remember, consistency is key. You need the job. They don't need you. So you have to put in the effort. You cannot just sit and wait for the job to find you. You have to go out and hustle a little bit to get the job. Okay? Now, how to secure an interview? So securing an interview call can be challenging and daunting at the same time. Work on your CV. All right, please. I'm just going to give you a few practical tips, okay? If you have your CV. Number one, don't mention your address for international jobs. You may need it for jobs in Pakistan, but do not mention your address, please, if you are applying for an international job. Why? Because it causes an address bias. The person who's recruiting might be biased against somebody working in Pakistan or India or Kenya, I don't know. So yeah, just remove your picture from the CV, please. No photo on your CV, no address on your CV. You don't need it. Just an email address and a phone number should be good enough. Okay. And then your registration number, whatever. When it comes to your medical education or your educational background, don't start with metric education, okay? Start off with FSC or just give your OA level equivalent. Start off from there. Don't just go down to and write like metric FSC. No. Make it so that they understand what those systems mean because they don't have metric. They don't understand those systems. So convert your results, even if you've done metric and FSC, convert your results to OA level grades and mention undergraduate studies and then write your grades as equivalent to or A level this. Okay. And when it comes to your MBBS, again, don't mention every year result. No need. Just say MBBS done from this, done, sorted. Again, with the higher qualifications, if you have done a training program, if you have done for example, MRChem or PLAB or any other exam, just mention pass, fail, whatever. Don't mention fail, obviously. Just like, for example, if you've just done PLAB 1, mention PLAB 1 pass, and then the year you passed it in. And for PLAB 2, if you haven't done it yet, just say awaited. If you have given it and the results are not out, just write appeared, result awaited, or just result awaited is good enough. You don't need anything else. When it comes to experience, don't mention each and everything. Okay, mention what the job requires you to. For example, when you mention writing about house job, okay, there are certain things that a house officer should do. Okay, and mention those. Don't mention, oh, I did a surgery. I was able to do independent appendectomies. Even if you did do them, that is not a house job level skill as per Irish Medical Council. So you're not going to get extra points for this. You're just giving them information that they don't need. So cut it out. Stop over embellishing stuff that they're not going to be impressed with. When it comes to a registrar post, for example, don't write, I was taking histories, because as a registrar, they don't care if you take histories, okay? They care if you were able to manage conflict, if you're able to lead a shift, if you're able to lead an arrest, right? So be careful of what you are writing in your experience. If you're writing a teaching experience, you should be able to back it up with teaching experience instead of just writing stuff like, oh, I took a class, I gave a lecture. No, be confident that I was able to arrange a seminar for 50 people. This was the feedback. This is what I got. So that's how you mention it. When it comes to clinical attachments and observerships, take them out of your CV. Nobody needs to know. Nobody cares. Don't add them. Secondly, when it comes to courses, if you're mentioning I've done this course, always mention the latest courses at the top and then the older ones at the bottom. Okay? Don't write the older ones at the top. And in the end, you don't have to write references will be furbished on request. It is an understood statement. You don't need to say that. So don't waste time. In the end, if you're mentioning like hobbies, extracurricular activities, please mention relevant ones. Don't say painting and social media. Not a good thing as a doctor. Okay, mention team sports that builds team leadership. So mention soccer, basketball, swimming for like fitness and stuff. So be careful reading journals and don't be overzealous about like being all studious and no play as well. Because whatever you mention in this part of your CV, they might actually bring it up in your interviews. So be careful. Okay. What else about the CV? Yeah. So keep in mind that anybody who's looking at CVs for jobs has about 2,000 of them, and they will only give like 6 to 10 seconds to your CV. So if that CV does not stand out in the 6 to 10 seconds that I see it, then they're not going to hire you. Okay, they're not going to shortlist you for an interview either. So in those 6 to 10 seconds, what do I see in your CV? I should be able to see important stuff. So make bullet points, bold all those things that you want them to see in the first 6 seconds so that they hire you. Okay, I hope that helps. This is just a little bit tidbit on CV. I know this is not a class or a master class for CV making or building, but it's just going to help you if you have made a CV to know that what it should look like. Can you please share a sample of CV and cover letter? Uh, okay, I'll have a look. I'll see if I can find one of my old ones, and I can share that in the Pakistan Emma Chem Academy group. And cover letter. A cover letter, you don't know, so there is no sample for a cover letter. Okay, it's going to depend on the job type, the employer type, and what do you want. Okay, so there's not going to be a straightforward sample for it. All right, now let's come to, so we covered professional CV, we covered, yeah, so cover letter, we will cover this. But basically, just to break it down for you, what cover letter means. Cover letter means that what is it? that wasn't in your CV or you were not able to show in your CV, because a CV is a very specific type of document, right? What else will stand you out from other applicants, or what else makes you the perfect candidate for this job? All right. For example, if there's a job for a registrar in Dublin and they say we are looking for somebody who's done emergency medicine exams, they've got 4 years of experience, good leadership skills, interpersonal skills, a safe doctor. So in your cover letter, you will show examples of you being a safe doctor, you liking Dublin, you having not only 4 years of experience in emergency medicine, you also having experience in ICU or PEDS, and you're saying, look, I can do this as well. And I can cover to a larger cohort of patients because I have this. Okay, so this is basically you sort of showing off, but not overselling yourself. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And just as a tidbit, I know it's an AI world we are living in. Do not use big words in your CV or cover letter. Okay. Don't use Chat GPT and just copy paste that cover letter as is. Okay. Yes, you can use AI. All right. I'm not saying you cannot, but just be careful with how you uh, prompt it. Okay. For example, if you want AI to make your CV better, ask it to make it better. Yes. But make sure you mention don't use big words, use simple English. Okay, things like that in your prompt so that it doesn't look like it's AI generated. Okay, big words, long sentences, not good. Make bullet points, easy to understand, easy to retain information. Okay, so be careful with your prompts. Additional qualifications. So these are the things that will help you with your portfolio, help you get shortlisted. What time is it? Oh my word. We are running out of time. Okay, let's try and finish this. So additional qualifications going to be certifications. If you have BLS, ACLS from your own country, good enough. Teaching experience, how can you show this experience? You can show this experience by mentioning it. If you have taken a formal teaching degree, show it. If you have a teaching role, show that. Otherwise, if you've been teaching online, you can just give them the reference that I've been teaching for this long. I always have feedbacks, please. For your teaching experience, your feedback matters. And I say this because when we teach in Pakistan M1 Academy, we ask you for your feedback. The reason is this. This is your teaching portfolio. So as a courtesy to all your teachers, please always give a feedback. It helps us when we want to have a portfolio. And eventually when you will start teaching, you will have to ask for feedback. And if you help others, others help you. So keep in mind, if you were not giving feedbacks, people might not give you feedbacks. So have this helping environment. Help your teachers out, help your mentors, help your seniors, help your colleagues with even if they've conducted like a very small teaching session of 5 people, always give a feedback. Always have a feedback form ready. Just make those simple Google forms, keep them ready, always give feedbacks to them so that they can always have them ready for their portfolios. This will greatly help you in applying for jobs. Okay. Feedback in letter form? No. So you have them ready in case they ask for it. You don't give them letter form. You say, you mention it. I was teaching for 1 year, and for every lecture, you have these feedback forms ready in case they ask for them in interview. Okay. You keep them ready. And also, you need them for your annual appraisal for Irish Medical Council as well every year. Research and publications, do as many research audits or publications you can. Audits are the easiest to do. You can do many audit cycles easily in your hospital. So if you cannot do research or publications or you find them difficult, just do an audit and you're good. Community work can help, but it's not a very strong thing for your portfolio. Okay, unless it's a very big community, like WHO stuff. All right. These are some more questions. Let me just see. I think I've already answered all of them. So, mm, not a lot of these questions. What if we are registered? with IMC, and now OAT expires. Is it possible to find a job, or do we need to retake the test? Okay, so yeah, this was one of the questions I think somebody was asking. So yes, keep applying for jobs. Sometimes they accept applications even if OET is expired. Sometimes when they find out your OET is expired, they offer you a post and ask you to retake OET before joining. So keep applying for jobs if you have active registration. For registration, you need valid OET. For maximum job opportunities, yes, you need it, but sometimes accept your expired. Yeah. So I answered this already, but yes, this is the answer that I've already kept for this one. If you're registered with IMC recently and you have passed MRCP Part 1, how much estimate time can it take for a job to swim? So you do have a good portfolio, whoever was asking this question, to get an SHO job. And keep giving your exams. And the more exams you give, the better your portfolio becomes. CV enhancement. Yeah, you need all of these things to make your CV better, which is okay. Financial considerations. Uh, so yeah, whoever's asked this question, it's still better working in Ireland. You have a good work-life balance. You have good hours, honestly, there. All right, so training and residency. I have a feeling we're running out of time. I might not be able to get to. I'm going to rush through these FAQs. I'm sorry. And I'm going to go to the part where I want you to know, which is, where is it? Where is it? SHO and registrar jobs. So this is the hospital guide, guys. I have a feeling we might have to do another session on this one. We are nearing 7 o'clock. Okay. I think, unfortunately, we have to stop for today. The two things that were
Just
left.
we can continue from where we stopped. It's a very engaging session.
Sorry, what I couldn't hear you, Dr. Nabil. Can you repeat?
I said it's a very engaging session, and if you need to stop, then we can stop and continue from where we stopped.
Okay, yeah, that works as well. Let me just see if I can continue though. It is 7. I'm happy to continue. So let's see. Let me just stop the recording here.